It's tremendous to see so many thousands of people in this square highlighting that climate change is the greatest threat facing our planet. And at a time of a world conference in Bali demanding much tougher action than the world has taken so far. And I mean much tougher action. The fact is, we are making progress. John Howard has gone. And Australia has now signed up. And who knows, now that the US intelligence agencies have finally found out that Iran isn't actually making any nuclear weapons, perhaps they might actually find out that mankind is creating climate change and that America, with less than 5% of world population, is causing more than 25% of the damage. And that now that Bush's presidency is coming to its inglorious end, that America should only be electing a president who is fully committed to international action to stop climate change. The fact is, Jim Hansen, who is Bush's climate change guru, I suppose, said we have 10 years at most to stop the most drastic effects of climate change. 10 years. And yet in the past 10 years, since Kyoto, global emissions have actually risen. They've risen because only 30 countries signed up, the industrialized countries, and all the other 150 countries, including China, India, Mexico, Indonesia, Brazil, have not signed up. And what we have got to do is to get them to sign up, but they're not going to sign up unless we, the rich industrialized countries, give a lead. So the first message for the British government, for the EU and for the rich countries, we need some political leadership. It's all very fine about the rhetoric, but we need much tougher action. So I've got a few messages for the British government. First of all, our carbon emissions in this country have not actually fallen at all in the last 10 years, they've actually risen. So what is the point of making assertions about what we're going to do in 50 years' time, we're going to reduce by this target or that target, if in the last 10 years we haven't reduced at all? And if we want the developing countries to reduce their emissions, then we have got to reduce our emissions rapidly and massively. The fact is, our record on renewables, which is the key to the revolution we need to see, our record is frankly pathetic. The rest of Europe are generating electricity 15-25% from renewables. In Scandinavia, 35-50%. In this country, 4%. When we probably have more renewable capacity, wind power capacity, because we're an offshore island, than the whole of the rest of Europe put together, and we're hardly using any of it. And I simply say this: we need a massive program of offshore wind. We need the introduction in this country of feed-in tariffs to promote solar, as they've done very successfully in Germany. And we need, as a target, a micro-generation plant in every home. That's the kind of thing that we should be aiming for. And of course, we are introducing at this time a climate change bill, but I tell you this, it's not enough to have a leisurely 5-year review, which is what's proposed in the bill. We need annual targets which are annually kept to. But I have to say this, there is not much use in a climate change bill if in the next breath the government gives the go-ahead for the third runway at Heathrow, if we're committing to a tripling of airport capacity by 2030, if we're starting a massive road building program, and wait for it, as we now read in the papers, we're apparently annexing 1 million acres of the seabed of Antarctica in order to preempt the remaining repositories of oil. I say to Gordon, come on Gordon, are you for climate change or are you against it? Because if you're against it, you ought to be doing none of these things. And another thing, I'd say another thing, Gordon, if you are as keen on renewables as you set out in your speech 3 weeks ago, great speech, but if you're really keen, how come at the same time you're undermining renewables by promoting nuclear energy? When nuclear energy is more costly, it's more dangerous, and it leaves behind massive stockpiles of toxic waste that remains toxic for hundreds of thousands of years. Come on, Gordon. Get your target in the right place. It's got to be renewable. And while I'm at it, Gordon, just a few more tips of friendly advice from a very good friend. If we are going to achieve these targets, we have got to have air travel and shipping included in both UK and international targets. We need the top 5,000 industrial companies in this country reporting every year on their annual cuts in emissions, and if not, there have got to be penalties. We need every household with a target to reduce its own carbon emissions so that they have a target that they can actually bring it down year by year. And last but not least, and this is incredibly important, we need to have a massive program of help to the developing countries to stop this drastic and devastating deforestation of our planet. That is the message. That is the message of thousands of people on this march, and that is the message of millions of people in this country. So Gordon, are you listening? Thank you.